see there's nothing there. Otherwise, not a bad house, so it could be something that's just, okay. Here's one that's distressed. No landscaping, needs a paint job. It's all cracked up. In fact, the roof is caving in right there, isn't it? But be careful, because they got an alarm system on this house in case you decide to break in. Here's one that's really distressed in the siding. Kind of fuzzy, but it's all wooded house, all distressed out. Here's one that's got boards on the windows. In fact, they stole the HVAC or the swamp cooler off that thing, and it's all fenced up. Here's one that's been burnt down. These all work for the wholesaler. There's a really pretty one, too. Oh, that's a real house. My daughter wants to move into it, as of yesterday. Here's one if you're a Denver Bronco fan. It could be sick. It could be designer. Really messed up. Doesn't matter, they all work for us. Now, that we understand what a distressed property is, what is a distressed seller? Well, it can be just an owner, someone that just doesn't live in the area. Back in the 80s and late 80s, I remember a lot of people out of California, Southern California, were moving up to Oregon. They wanted to move to Oregon. And then they were going to be property manager in Oregon while they had their house over here. Not such a good idea. They were too cheap to hire property management. Thought they could do it remote. And so it ended up becoming a headache. And they want to get rid of it because they have non-paying tenants in there that are just destroying the place. It can be delinquent on their payments. Do we have any people in pre-foreclosure today? Oh, yes, we do. So that means we're in business. That's what that means. They can be desperate. That can mean anything. Someone has health issues, just got aware of it. Now they need money. They have an asset they need to liquidate ASAP. Do you think people let properties go at a discount? Yes or no? Yes, they do quite often. Most people say, oh, they won't do this more. Yes, they do. Otherwise, pawn shops would be out of business. When people need something, they'll get rid of it quick so they can cash in. Divorce, that doesn't happen in California, so I'll skip over that. Death. One of our biggest factors, or one of the biggest reasons why we get so many phone calls. Mom and dad. Dad passed away, mom's living in the house, mom has passed away. Kids are scattered all over the United States. They're fighting over the house. They want to liquidate ASAP so we can divide up the money. And so they call someone like myself. They don't want to deal with agents. They don't want to have to fly away here to see what needs to be done to the house. They don't want to go through all the inspections. No, they just want to get rid of it. Okay? There's many circumstances that creates a distressed seller and or distressed property. Nonetheless, the distressed property or the seller is our leverage, the L word. That is very important in this business to structure a great deal. If there is no leverage, the more likely there's no deal. Our leverage, the L word, do I have that backwards? The L word, if you have the L word, then you have the D word, distress. And if we have the D word of distress, then we have the C word of circumstance. And circumstance what? Creates cash. So here's 5 mistakes an investor will make when looking at deals. Number 1, they'll look at the newspaper ad. You know why they look at a newspaper ad? Because your big real estate gurus that came into town for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday said, look at the newspaper. And so you break open the Sunday paper, you pull out your highlighters, you're looking through the ad, thinking, this might be a good deal, and start marking it up. It's a good way to practice. But are you really going to find the deals in the newspaper? Yes or no?
No.
If it's in the newspaper, who do you think knows about it? Everybody knows about it. And only the beginners look there. Number 2, online classifieds. Oh, Sensei, you must use Craigslist. Yeah, we do. Oh, Sensei, you must post over here. Oh, you must do this online to be able to buy and sell your deals. Is that really the best place to look for deals? Honestly. Who's found multiple deals online? You know why? Because the beginners are looking there and everybody knows about it. What about real estate agents and the MLS? Who's been flipping REOs lately? Oh, nobody? What about short sales? Anybody flipping short sales? No. My wife just put a listing up on Saturday and had 20 offers by the end of the day. No joke. It's crazy. So if it's on the MLS, which is the mass media of all listings of properties, who knows about it? Everybody knows about it. Not to mention that when you're dealing with the MLS, you're usually dealing with an agent, and most agents do not understand the investor mind. There are some really good agents out there, but the majority of them just don't get it. Then you buy into some super duper lead generating software that's got all the bells and whistles, that's going to send you a lead when they opt into their squeeze pages. And when they send you that lead, that's going to be your deal because it's in your area. Oh man, I'm excited about this. You mean someone's going to pay for all my internet marketing and all I got to pay is, $10,000 to belong to the program and then $97 a month, so that way they can send me that deal every single week or maybe one a day. I'm doing it. You think about it. 10,000 people bought this software. Am I really the only one getting that tickler that they send over to me? No. Everybody knows about it again. So, how many of you have heard through some real estate guru say, you really want the good deals? Go be buddy-buddy with the banker. Take them out to lunch. And let them start handing you the deals. Who's heard of that before? Has anybody done that and got a deal? Banker just got free lunch. Banker has no right to give out deals. You might get a really good free checking account, but that's probably about it. So it doesn't work. To me, it's an absolute joke. So, let me ask you this. How many of you have heard of those methods before? Yeah, we all have, haven't we? They have their place, but again, it's a beginner's place. When I look at these 5 techniques, all I see is frustration, 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 and no deals. So, let me give you 5 effective methods to find deals. You ready? Yes or no?
Yes.
All right, here we go. Direct mail. Yes, we know about that. But we know about that, and the reason I have it there is because it works, JC. It works. It's cost effective, it's simple, and it gets delivered right into their mailbox. Farming. I know, I'm old school, aren't I? I'm not hiding behind my computer screen like most real estate investors are doing today. They sit behind their screen looking at all the mass media of the newspaper, the MLS, and online sites like Craigslist or classified sites. And it's where everybody's looking, so I am now in the massive competition. Please write this down. Masses are always wrong. So I get out in the streets, and we still go from street to street to street, looking for distressed properties, vacant, abandoned, boarded up, or extremely ugly. And we get our marketing in our TZ, the area of operation, our target zone, so that everybody knows who we are. You can find deals at the trustee sheriff sales, the auctions. Who's been in the auctions before? Excellent. But wait a minute, we're wholesaling. We're not spending money. We're not buying properties. Well, someone buying at the auction is a wholesaler, by the way, right? They're there to buy at a discount, and they're either going to fix it up and flip it, or they're going to buy it at a discount so they can get an extreme cash flow out of it. The other person, the other third buyer, is going to be a home buyer. But we're not there to buy properties. If you guys are the investors buying at the trustee sales, then I'm going to make sure you know who I am. Because most of you guys are going to look for one of 2 things. You're either going to look for a tenant. With my marketing, I get tenants all the time asking if they can rent properties. And you are going to want a buyer because you're going to buy, fix, and flip. What's your name?
Pete.
Sorry?
Pete.
Pete? So if Pete's at the auction, and I'm watching Pete, and I'm watching all you guys, and you're all bidding, and a lot of times you're just going to lose, but that's okay. I see your hands going up and you're bidding. And Pete wins a property that's in my area. I'm going to go up to Pete and say, hey Pete, looks like you got yourself a great deal. He's going to be smiling, shaking his head. What are you going to do with a deal like that? And he's going to tell me, I'm either going to rent it or I'm going to fix and flip it. Well, actually, I was going to bid on that property, but I found something that fit my criteria a little bit better. But let me ask you, since you're going to flip this property, if I can get a buyer to come in and take it off your hands and you make a quick $5 grand, would you be interested? He's going to end up saying, yeah. So I've got a buyer over here that's willing to spend 10 grand on it. I'll keep 5 and I'll give him 5. And he can go back to the auction tomorrow and start bidding all over again. I've got instant inventory now. I don't have to be driving on the streets all the time. Because people like you guys that are at the auction are just going to say, hey, I got these properties over here, I'm going to fix them up, but if you can't sell them, I'm just going to fix them up. And I'm going to start tapping into all you. Not only that, Pete, you know what, I've got a property over here, does this fit your criteria? Yes, it does. Oh, you interested? You don't have to go to the auction on Friday. Yes, I am. I got my buyer too. Okay? Referral program. Use the motto, if I get paid, you get paid. If I get paid, you get paid. You should be an affiliate in every possible way when it comes to your real estate transactions. Someone brings you a deal, you pay them. Someone helps you sell a deal, you pay them, you pay them well. But here's the referral programs that I'm talking about. If I'm looking for deals, where are the deals? Well, I don't know. What am I searching for? Searching for deals, but those deals are distressed deals. That distress is either going to be seller distressed or property distressed. Credit repair agency. Who's going there? A distressed house or distressed seller? That was a question. Seller. And if they're in distress, they have to go to a credit repair agency because they're underwater with their debt. The last piece that they're going to let go is their home. They're going to fool around with the credit cards. And eventually they're going to end up losing their home. So if I can make friends with credit repair agencies, and they can funnel their clients over to me, to where I can talk to their client to either help them save their home or buy their home and keep their credit intact because that's what they're there in the first place, is to save their credit, I've got myself a deal. Then I can turn around and pay them a monthly fee or pay them per deal. Does that make sense? Go where the distressed people are. Loan modification companies. You think you have distressed people calling up the loan modification companies? Yeah. They want to stay in their home. Unfortunately, the majority are not going to be able to stay in their home. So what does a loan modification company do if they cannot help that owner? Sorry, we can't help you. Not employed? Oh, sorry, we can't help you. They let them go. They take them right off the hook and throw them right back in the water.
First they take your money.
Yeah, they first
What a mistake. Loan modification company. You're in business to get paid, right? Yes, I am. Don't take them off the hook and throw them back in the water. Keep them on the hook. Just put them on my hook. Because here's what's going to end up happening. You know they're going to lose their home. So let me take care of them. I will buy their house, relieve them of that debt, save them from their foreclosure, and when I get paid, I'll turn around and pay you. And now they've added a different income stream to their business, didn't they? Mortgage brokers. If somebody is hurting and they own a home that has equity, and they want to pull their equity out, or maybe lower their interest rate because we got such phenomenal rates, so they can also do a cash out refi, and they call a mortgage broker or a lender and say, hey, I'd really like to refi my loan. I'd really like to pull some money out. They say, whoa, wait a minute, your debt to income ratio is way out of whack, or, I'm sorry, you're not working, we can't do a refi for you. Oh, they're good, then take them off the hook and throw them right back in the water again. We're going to go right back to them just like we do with loan modification companies, start having them funnel those leads over to us. And you know what's going to end up happening is this. We're going to go in there and we're going to help that seller, more likely they're going to take control of that property. They're going to have to move out, but they save their credit. We can put them into one of our other properties that we're possibly doing a lease option with and come back to this mortgage broker and have this mortgage broker do the loan for them. So they still get paid. And the number one way to get deals and to make multiple paychecks, I know it's going to blow your mind, is to make offers. Make offers. Do you know how many offers you need to make? A lot of offers, the minimum of 10 per day. So if we did 10 offers per day, that means we did 50 for the week. Let me back up. Who's made 10 offers this year? Anybody in here? 3 of you. Then that must be really overwhelming to you right there to make 50. But that's 50 per week. If you do 50 per week, then you're doing 200 in a month. And if you do 200 a month, that means you got 2,400 offers out there in 1 year. Now, how many believe that if you did 2,400 offers in a year, you would score plenty of great deals? Anybody in here? Then why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you even doing 10? This is a numbers game in this business, especially in the market that we're in today. 2,400 offers in a year is not a lot of work. In fact, for me to submit 10 offers will take me less than 30 minutes. Does anybody have 30 minutes out of their day where they can make 10 offers? Yes or no? Who did not? You did say yes. Why not? What are you doing that's so important all day long that you can't make 10 offers per day? At least you're honest.
You gotta find the sellers.
2,400 offers.
You gotta find the sellers.
Probably MLS.
No, that's not where you go.
Oh, that's where I go.
Distressed sellers.
You're on the MLS.
You said not to go on the MLS.
You're on the MLS. I'm going to show you a bit. Okay. Okay. So if we did 2,400 offers, think about it. That's a lot, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, it's not. Not my business. Not in your business. Because if you can hire somebody for $2.22 an hour for them to do it for you, would that be worth it?
Oh, yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah. $2.22 an hour. So that means if I can do 10 offers in an hour, and I said do 10 offers a day, but I'm paying him $2.22, that means really they can get out 20 offers. We just doubled that, didn't we? We now got 4,800 offers out there, and you didn't have to pick up a pen or type anything. You've got someone doing that. And I think we can all afford $2.22 an hour, can't we? Then write this down, odesk.com. Odesk.com. That's who we use. Odesk.com. Desk, like a desk.
You don't have a specific
no.
person or...
Yeah, I got my own guys. You gotta go on there and hire your own guys on there.
It's like, I'm not sure mine.
You gotta hire your own guys on there. There's lots of them. $2.22 an hour. But think about it. Really, if we did 2,400 offers for the year, and we only score 1%, that's 24 deals for the year. And if we're averaging $8,000 per deal, which is a low number by the way, and by the end of the year, we're making $192,000 in profits. It's very easy to do. But you have to understand it'll take a little bit of legwork on your behalf, and you need to put a system in place to be able to do this. But let me ask you, let's cut that number in half and you did 1 deal a month. Would 100 grand still be enough for you? cut that in half, and you did 6, would 50 grand be a lot for you? Yes. Then why aren't you doing it? You must make offers, and a lot of them. Okay? This is only 2 deals per month. And there's plenty of companies out there that are doing a lot more than 2 deals per month. So there's 3 methods to find cash buyers. Number 3, direct mail. We will send direct mail out to distressed sellers and to distressed properties to collect inventory. But we'll also find out, like Rick did in Central California, where he got that duplex and sent out direct mail to cash buyers. That was all the landlords in the area. Basically stating, hey, I'm an investor in the area, I've got properties just like yours, but a lot less than what you paid for it. Interested, give me a call. So, we will focus on non-owner occupied. Number 2, going down to the trustees and sheriff's sale. Here we call them trustee sales or auctions. If you're back in Indianapolis, they're sheriff sales. But they're auctions. And I already discussed with Pete saying, hey, great deal, getting that instant inventory from him. But then again, if I find some great deals, more than likely him and everybody else at the auction that's buying for cash would want it. So if I came up to Pete, and I didn't know Pete, and I said, hey Pete, looks like you got yourself a great deal. Yeah, he's all happy about it, warm and fuzzy. Well, let me ask you, if I can get you a house that's very similar to that one, but about 5 or 10% less than what you paid, would you be interested? Yes or no, Pete?
Yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, let me get your card, because I've got one in the works that should be ready to go in about 2 weeks. And we'll exchange contact information. Oh, done over here. Then I'm going to come over here to Dean, is that what I said?
Yeah.
Do the same thing over here. And I'm going to come over here to JC, do the same thing over here. I've already got 3 cash buyers right here in my pocket. It took me less than 20 minutes. Right? Active cash buyers. In my area. Hard money lenders. Now, I'm a hard money lender. But I get hard money lenders calling me all the time. Saying, hey, look, in Southern California right now, we're lacking inventory. And I'm like, really? Yes, I know that. Well, here's the problem that I have, Sensei, as the hard money lender says. I've got a lot of people that are rehabbers, because that's who he funds, is rehabbers, but they're lacking deals. Can you supply them? So if I can supply the rehabber deal, that way he can get the loan. So I've got hard money lenders calling me, asking me if I've got inventory. Not going to have a problem with cash buyers, am I? Because the hard money lenders are on my side. Now, how many of you can find deals by just using those 8 simple techniques I just showed you? Making offers, direct mail, going to the auctions, trustee sales. Just one? You should all have your hands up. How powerful of an investor would you be if I gave you 2 dozen more that we use in our office every single day? Look what David had to say. Sensei, as you know, I'm a fireman in the San Francisco Bay Area, and my work schedule changes constantly. I have always wanted to rehab houses, but knew that the business is labor intensive and wouldn't work with my current schedule. It wasn't until I heard you speak at Donald Trump Real Estate Expo that you can flip properties without going through the long process of buying, fixing, and flipping. Then at that moment, I knew wholesaling was for me. There are 2 techniques that you really are taught that really saves time and are very effective. Number 1, using your simple method to make several offers to agents, FSBOs, and other online ads without using lengthy paperwork. 2, tapping into the fire department and code enforcement gave me instant distress properties. Oh, I just told you 2 more places to look. Code enforcement, like City of LA, has it all listed on their website. Thousands of properties that are substandard. That's what we're looking for. Oh, they're already online? Got them. Instant inventory. Not all cities are going to have online. LA does. Oh, fire department? You better believe it. Now, not all the little stations in the city, but you got to go to the headquarters of that fire department. So let's say, for instance, the city of Downey, they're actually located in City Hall. And they know all the substandard homes in the area because those are fire hazards. People squatting, doing drugs. They need to know where they are. In fact, they go and check them out every once in a while is what they do. This is all public information. Two more. I love working smarter and not harder. To get you up to date, I flipped 9 properties since I took your wholesale training 2 years ago. Those 9 properties have given me a total of $122,757 in profits. Not bad for a part-time job. Thanks for teaching me a business that allows me to work 2 careers that I love. Respectfully, David. Fireman. Part-time. 60 grand a year. Extra. Let's move on to the second model. Bind it. So we've already built up the find it side. Our phones are going to be ringing off the hook. Let's move it over to bind it. So a motivated seller gives you a call. It makes contact with you. There's 5 important items that you need to do when you're speaking to the seller. So write these down. Number 1, you need the owner's name. You want to make sure that you're speaking to the seller. If it's not the owner that you're speaking to, then get the owner's name. I'll tell you something, I don't tell very often because it's a little embarrassing, but there's been at least 3 or 4 times where I've gotten all the information for the person I was talking to on the phone, did a bunch of research, driven by the property to find out it was the son that was trying to sell parents' house. My parents didn't even know. So I'm talking to the wrong person. Make sure you're speaking to the owner. Get their phone number. I had a student, this is before we really had cell phones with call waiting and all this stuff, but I had a student, we were out in the field in my master's program where it's in the field training. We're not just learning, but we're doing. We're setting up your business. And so he puts out some marketing materials. Not to kid you not, within 2.5 to 3 hours, he gets a phone call of a motivated seller. And he's talking and getting down all the information, talking about the house and getting all this information, and he's all excited, hangs up the phone. Forgot the phone number. Oh. Fortunately for him, they called back. But he forgot it. Site address. There's been many a times when I first started out where I'm talking to the owner, and I'll ask them, hey, what's your home address? And I'm writing down their home address, just assuming it's their home that they want to sell. And so I'm now researching a property that they don't even want to sell because it's another property she was talking about. But I asked for the home address. Bad on me. Property characteristics. Why do we want these? The bedrooms, the baths, the square footage, the garage. Because that's what we're going to use to run our comps. And one of the biggest things we want to know, gosh, your house sounds great. Why do you want to sell? We want to look for the motivating factor, the leverage, to see if there's any distress, so that we can find out if there's a circumstance in life so that we can create cash. Now, your property research is going to include these 3 steps. Map out the property on Google Maps or Yahoo Maps. See what's next to this house. In fact, you're going to get aerial views, street views. I know you've all been on it. But don't just look at the house. Move that map around. See what's next to the house. See what's behind it. Because if it's behind an RV park, you think the value is going to go up or is it going to go down? It's going to go down. So we want to know the surroundings of the area, not just the house. Then we're going to pull up a property profile or a tax record. And that basically says who owns the house, the mailing address and the site address, the property characteristics. Now, if we have a mailing address and a site address the same, that kind of tells me what? Sorry?
Homeowners.
Homeowners. And if they're different, that kind of tells me what? That's right. More likely they're an investor that owns the property. Okay, then we're going to pull up our comparable sales because we got the characteristics from them. Not only that, we matched up the characteristics to the property profile. And we're going to run tight comps. You run tight comps. I'm not like an appraiser where we go a mile. I like to keep everything within the subdivision. If I don't have enough sales within the subdivision, we'll branch out to a half-mile radius. Because we all know that we can drive at, a half mile, and we get out of the subdivision, and the neighborhood changes for the better or for the worse, right? So I don't look at properties way out there. The only time I go out to a mile radius is if I just can't find any recent sales in the area, okay? So we do our comparable sales. Now, once we done our comps, then we're going to formulate our offers. And our offers are going to be cash offers. We're not